Welcome, everybody, to the PHDJ podcast. My name is Mike.
Hello, it's Joe Bunn.
How are you, Joe?
I'm a little tired, man.
Yeah, you've been all over. You were up my way yesterday, right? Monday and Tuesday?
I was.
What was that all about?
I was up working with your buddies at LB Entertainment.
They are my buddies because they have brought me up numerous times. I'll tell you what, those guys care a lot about quality and keeping their staff on the cutting edge because they don't mind throwing some money at it. They've brought me up. They brought you up. They brought other experts up. I value that. I respect that.
I'm telling you, man. I told them, I was like, you have no idea how few companies in the country are doing things like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like, Mike comes up every November. Like, you know, we loved you here. We're going to bring somebody else in the summer. I was like, man.
What did you work on with them?
I was doing, I know what I was doing. I was like, man, I'd love to come up, but I don't know if I have time to make something from scratch. And so I brought back the classes from our OG PHDJ workshop. It was like getting.
You mean the live stuff, like a microphone workshop type of thing?
No. Like the things that, remember me and you used to do like 4 or 5 sessions each when we had our live workshop.
Oh, yeah.
I did like getting referrals.
Okay.
All the small things, and
that's cool. That stuff is still valuable, man. You know,
dude. I went through it, cleaned it up, redid the slides, took my guy with me, and filmed it.
Yeah.
So it was really good, man.
Yeah.
They had a good group, maybe like 10 guys or so. Then Big Daddy was there.
I saw that, and Chris D'Amico.
Chris D'Amico and Jerry Syracuse.
Oh, Syracuse was there too.
Yeah.
They had asked me to come up Monday to have dinner with you, but I had already committed. John Young had me on his show Monday. We were talking, and I loved it. We were talking about physical health and mental health, and he had myself and Mitch Taylor and Stacy Hawk Carroll, and then he did a segment. So it was.
I saw the graphic, but I didn't hear the show.
Yeah, I thought I heard it all. I thought it was great content, and something you and I have talked about on the show, and we should probably do it. You know, spend another episode talking about the importance of both aspects. Physical health is extremely important, but also keeping your head clear and focused and avoiding burnout and things like that. It's a very important topic.
Oh, crucial topic. How about that 76 House place? Did you go there for dinner? It was like that where George Washington used to hang out.
The first time I went up, he took me there. That's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. George Washington ate here. I mean, that's when you could say that about any establishment. The fact that it's still around. What is that? That's 250 years later. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it felt like it too. Didn't it feel like you were in an old time tavern
or a tavern? Yeah.
That was very. Yeah, that was classic. That must be.
Tappan.
Yeah, I forget the name of it. Right. Well, that area is, I think Tappan or Tappan is a name because the bridge is the Tappan Z Bridge up there. Okay. Anyway, this is boring to our listeners.
Anyway,
so I have gotten a few emails, and you and I got one this morning, and I thought we would kick them around. Let's start with the one. Did you read the one this morning from Mike?
I'm sorry, man. I just got
That's all right. So a DJ from out on Long Island emailed you and I.
Okay.
And first of all, he starts out with sorry for the direct email to you guys. Mike, no need to apologize. As a matter of fact, that's the preferred method, and we'll talk about that when we get to the next one. But Mike at eliteentertainment.com. You can email me all day.
Yeah.
Ask for if you have a question, or even I don't have a problem if you say, hey, man, do you have 10 minutes so we can chat? Mm-hmm. But to begin the process, and it goes back to what Joe and I talked about 2 weeks ago, unsolicited, unscheduled phone calls can be a pain in the ass. So email. So I will condense what Mike wrote here. Basically, he's got veteran DJs, and he's got some younger, newer DJs that he wants to get started, and he's offering them at a discount rate, and he's wondering if there's a specific name he could use for that roster or that section of DJs to differentiate them. Right. The name of his company is All Star Party. And so he says he calls his main headliners all-star DJs, and he says he wants to be able to differentiate between their experience level. And he's thought about using junior DJs. He's thought about using the B team. and he wondered if you and I had any other, and I realize that you haven't even read this, so you haven't had a chance to think about it. So I'll give you my answer while you
speak
kind
on
of
it for a minute. Yeah, while I process it.
So my thought was, since the name of the company is All Star, and he already uses All Star, could you play off of that with your other DJs, like the starting rotation, and then the veteran guys are the All Star, or shift it so that the newer guys are the All Star DJs and the veterans are maybe the Hall of Fame DJs, something like that. So those were my. I don't love B Team.
No, I don't either.
And I don't love, and as he says, junior DJs, the problem with junior DJs is they sound young.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, but he said he's booking these guys, and I want to say this is he said he's booking these guys at a 15 to 20% discounted price. I think that's pretty good, because the business models I've seen is more of a discount than just 15 to 20%. So if you're only taking 20% off to book a newer guy, I think that's a pretty good deal.
I agree with Mike on the naming wholeheartedly. I guess my initial thought is two things. One, most of the guys I know that do this offer a lesser rate for the rookie DJs are doing a sub-brand. So a different
So a whole different company. Yeah.
It would be like, it wouldn't even be Elite Entertainment. It would be like NewJerseyBudgetDJ.com or something like that.
Right.
My second thought, and I've never done this the way he's structured, and I don't think Mike has. I mean, I guess my thoughts are, what is the rush in getting them out there right now? In other words, wouldn't you, Mike, or I would personally rather take them, train them up? Yes, they're not going to have years of experience until they have years of experience, and just send them out as a...
Well, yeah. See, I shouldn't have skimmed this much through. He's already trained these guys. These guys are already trained, or I should say, again, I don't want to read the whole email, but they're partially through the process of training.
Okay.
But they are to the point where they can do events. And listen, I agree with this wholeheartedly. As a matter of fact, just coincidentally, I met with Lynn and Dominic on Monday and said, look, I've got a couple guys who are finishing up training, so let's get these guys some gigs.
Yeah.
My emphasis on things like that is definitely I just don't have a different name for them.
Yeah, okay.
They're all called Elite Entertainers, but we offer discount, and we don't say we're discounting because he's newer or he's just coming out of training. But my other main thing that I try to focus on is, let's not put them in our top house accounts. Because if somebody shits the bed, I don't want it at a place that refers us, 40 times a year.
Right.
So that's the only caveat that I usually give to my people in the office. And
so you said
myself.
You do or don't offer a discount for them?
We do. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Because at this point, Joe, I've trained enough DJs through the years to know I'm really good at training, and I'm pointing to here in my basement. This is where it happens.
Sure.
But it still is going to take somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know, 20 odd gigs, and I prefer them to be non-weddings. So even though I train them on weddings, I like to get them started on birthday parties and anniversaries and those types of parties, and that's where they go from really prepared for training, but then really ready to take on the other events. So the only thing I'm doing differently from what Michael's doing is I don't have a separate name for them, and I understand why he wants to do that. So my thought, Michael, is just do some brainstorming and see if you can play off the All-Star brand, whether the new guys are All-Stars and then the veterans become something better than that, or you do All-Star and, I don't know, like I said, starting lineup, starting DJs.
Right. But before we move off that topic, Mike, do you think that's a turnoff to people that consider themselves to be, having a nice wedding and they're like...
Well, okay, again, I skimmed through this, but Michael does mostly kids' parties. So there's communions and I don't know if he says bar and bat mitzvahs in here, but yeah, I mean, listen, yes, but also some people, I mean, Joe, let's take your example. You have raised your price significantly over your other DJs. Do your clients who book Randy feel like that they're getting an inferior price product? No. So I think that there are some people who are going to be looking for a bargain and would go, oh, great. And he even quotes you in this email. I think you've made the point, when you have to turn down a show, you feel bad because you know they're going to go and get a DJ who probably isn't up to a Bunn DJ standard. So you hate it. So his point is, Michael feels confident that even his newer DJs are better than the maybe his average competition in the area. He doesn't say that. He's not putting down his competitors, but his point is he'd rather keep the show in house, and I totally get that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You need to have confidence in your training program. I mean, I know. Like I said, I'm wrapping up training with a couple guys here, and I am so confident that they're going to go out and kick ass. But I still want to get them some other events.
I'm the same as you in that aspect. Yeah. Like I'm telling Randy, like, book these guys on the non-weddings for to get their feet wet. Get them comfortable being out there.
Get them experience. Right. Hey there. Sorry to interrupt this awesome podcast, but I wanted to read a review for you that I received recently. Let me see if I can find it. I get so many. Oh, here it is. Mike and his crew went so far above and beyond what my wife and I ever could have imagined for our wedding. The whole process from start to finish was professional, engaging, and fun. And then this client writes, the event planner is awesome and allows you so much time and flexibility in planning your event. That's the type of feedback we get all the time. A, how awesome we are. B, how helpful and cool our online planner is. And while it looks like we have this super cool online planner, it's just DJ Event Planner branded for us. So if you're not using DJ Event Planner, besides missing out on the most powerful CRM sales tools available to our industry, you are missing out on this type of feedback from your clients. Let the great planning tools available from DJ EP blow them away before their event, then you blow them away at the event. That's a winning formula. Head to djeventplanner.com right now and start your free 30-day trial. Go ahead, Joe and I will wait for you. All right, so then let's talk about another one, and this was a phone call, somebody who called my office, and that just goes back to that point. I'd really prefer you not to do that because, whether it's me answering or Lynn or Dominic, we are focused on the DJ business, not me helping some DJ with a question. So hit me up with an email, DM me on Facebook, whatever, but please don't call my office. But so I was quick with this guy on the phone, and then he emailed me back. And basically he is and again, I'll skim through the email, but he is a club DJ who is looking to transition into weddings. And he's got two main questions in this email. The first one is, what kind of marketing? Apparently he didn't get a lot of shots of him when he was a nightclub DJ.
He does say he's done some wedding space stuff.
He has, but he also doesn't have any content from that. So he didn't get any images, which I'm sure you and I are both going to berate him for that and emphasize that every opportunity you have, get some content. But do you have some other stuff that you can offer this gentleman? You're getting started in the wedding business. How can you show couples that you can rock their wedding?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's still, he missed the opportunity possibly when he was out there doing shows. And I think the other thing, and maybe we'll circle back on this, was this line here. I'm considering offering my services to the first few clients at a deeply discounted rate.
I was going to get to that. You want to talk about that first?
No, let's talk about the marketing first.
Okay.
We'll talk about So I'll say this. There's still a huge opportunity, and I talked about this a little bit in New York yesterday when I was training those DJs about, personal branding. So, getting anybody. I mean, honestly, Google headshots in whatever area you live in, and go set up a studio session with somebody. Surely over the years of DJing, either in nightclubs, they have photographers, or weddings, you've met somebody and say, look, I want to take some lifestyle shots, me just around town, like, for your social, for your new website that you're going to do. I've talked extensively about Fiverr.com or Upwork or 99 Designs in terms of getting like a good logo and a brand going. And in terms of like reviews, I mean, that's going to be tough. I mean, Mike, what is your ethical take on this guy reaching out to people that, he was booked with at his old company and trying to get a review from them?
I don't think you should. I think that crosses the line. Yeah,
I think it crosses the line, number one. And number two, and I cannot stress this enough, I don't care who you think you're taking stuff from off their website. They will eventually find out you took stuff off their website. Yeah. I hear about it almost every single month from somebody literally ripping off somebody's site down to the copy, down to the wording. On the site. And so
I mean, listen, if he worked for a reputable multi-op, there's nothing wrong with saying formally of blah, 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 but you can't steal any, you can't go back. If you did a wedding for Mary Smith 2 years ago, you should not email her and say, hey, would you give me a review, but under my name? And that's just not ethical. And I mean, I'm saying that obviously as a multi-op owner who somebody could potentially do that to me down the road, I wouldn't want it. It's just not right. Yeah.
It's not right.
But listen, you can book shows without reviews. It's reviews would help you, but if you don't have any reviews yet, it's not a deal breaker, I don't think.
And I guess my last thing was even if you staged, some shots of you behind a booth that made it look like you were at a wedding, take those, set up your gear. I mean, see if somebody will loan you a venue or even a hotel conference room and stage some shots. But most importantly, I think for somebody that hasn't really been heard, is do the Mike Walter, hit record, start putting out some mixes and put the links on the website and make them, this is this is prime wedding dance floor set number 1. Maybe the next one this is for a couple that likes hip hop from the 90s. Like those mixes could be instrumental in getting you a booking because I can assure you, especially if people don't know you, at least they can hit play and go, oh, dang, this guy can play.
Yeah, if you're listening to this rather than watching it, you missed my vigorous head nod during that. That was the main thing that I told this gentleman. I said, use Mixcloud or SoundCloud as a platform. Populate it, show people that you can mix, show people that you are clever with your song selection. These are free, or even if you take the paid platform, very inexpensive ways to do it. We have a DJ, Barry Bostic, who is newer on our staff, started a couple years ago, but he keeps a very active Mixcloud page.
Oh, wow.
And we have booked him over some of my veteran DJs who don't keep a Mixcloud page because people say, can we get Barry? We heard some of his mixes. So that's not a brand new lead. And I don't think Mixcloud will bring you much new leads, but it will give you fodder to book people once they do contact you.
It's another carrot to dangle in somebody's face.
Yeah.
They want to see you, right? So that's the key to the good pictures. They want to see you. They possibly they don't want to know your whole full rig, like maybe, but they want to see that you look good, your setup looks good, and that that you can play. And so that kind of skirts you around the lack of reviews. Or I mean, he has experience, so a good bio helps. I talked yesterday intensely about story marketing and having that kind of 2-minute, super powerful mini documentary, about how you started.
You're talking about video.
Yeah, a video.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next suggestion. Just, work with somebody who is a good videographer, who can shoot it, who can edit it, do it really nicely done, and just tell your story. And I listen, the nightclub space is cool and valued by most couples.
It is cool.
So if your whole story is, hey, I'm transitioning to weddings after years and years of rocking nightclubs, and if you failed to get footage from back then, that's fine. Show you walking in front of one of the nightclubs that you had a residency at.
Yes,
anything. And that will be that can definitely help sell you.
Reach out to the manager and just go in there and get B-roll of the crowd on a Saturday or whatever. Even if you're not playing it, like it's still. They don't know that. Like it's just that's a 1-second clip of a 2-minute film. You know what I mean?
Like. And then the other thing, I would suggest signing up for some bridal shows in your market. They're not the most glamorous way to get events. It can be a cattle call, but I mean, if you are a no name in the wedding industry in your market, you and I have talked about this previously, Joe. Yeah. Bridal shows introduce you to new brides who are looking for services, but they also give you an opportunity to schmooze with some of the vendors in your market. Before a show starts, I'm usually walking around shaking hands with some of the photographers that I know and thanking the banquet hall for having us and things like that.
Hooking up an HDMI cable to somebody's projector that doesn't work.
Right. Now, if this guy's brand new and doesn't know those people, it's going to take a little bit more schmoozing on his part. But there's nothing wrong with that. Walk up to some photographers and say, "Man, I'm brand new. Here's some business cards. If you have an opportunity, I'd love to work with you." That type of thing. It is going to take a little hustle on this guy's part. But the fact that he called me in my office unsolicited shows me he doesn't mind hustling a little bit. So more power to him. So then let's talk about that last part of his email.
Yeah.
Would you? And I do think we've talked about this on the podcast previously, and I think you and I both agree on this. Would you offer a discounted rate to some new clients?
I don't remember what I said. You tell me what you said.
I said absolutely. If I was moving to a new market and wanted to get some shows, I would price myself. I would come in, about average or maybe even under average, just to, get some handful of shows. He says, I'm trying to scan through this with also keep my focus on the show, but he says something about that the client would keep the price confidential. You can mention that to a client, but they may or may not. They're probably going to tell their friends, but who cares? If you book a show at a discounted rate, and then 3 years from now somebody calls and says, "Hey, you did my friend Mary's wedding at $800," and you go, "Well, now I'm $2,000." You may or may not book that show, but there's nothing wrong with saying, "Oh yeah, I was just getting started in the wedding space, so I gave your friend a discount. I'm sorry, I'm not offering that discount anymore."
I have two comments on it. One, I would say I wouldn't focus so much on the general public deeply discounted shows. I would do the open houses, the catering, tasting.
Absolutely. If you can get your foot in the door there, those aren't always easy to book, but absolutely.
The charity event that needs a DJ for free. Like I would focus more on the vendors and venues needing a DJ for their various, whatever, open houses, grand opening, this, that, and the employee appreciation party, team building event, versus doing a deeply discounted rate. And even more so when you're doing your pricing, one, I have no regret in going out and price shopping what other people in my area are doing, and I suggest you do that. The main thing I suggest to you is, like Mike said, do not come in at the bottom. It is you're going to lose business. If you're coming in at $500 to do a wedding, people are going to be terrified of that rate. Yeah. So you haven't earned
and also the only person that's going to book that is somebody who doesn't really respect entertainment or value entertainment.
And they're going to be the worst person you've ever dealt with in your life. That's just a fact. So come in somewhere in the middle or just below the middle, like Mike said.
Right. Yeah, not dramatically discounted, but a little bit under. And listen, especially this guy is very confident in his skills. If you book a half a dozen events like that to fill in your calendar, you are not only performing and getting your name out there, hopefully generating some personal referrals. But again, going back to, you are showing your local vendors, wow, this is the new guy on the block, but he ain't a new guy. He's a veteran and he can rock events, and you might win over some referrals from banquet halls and get on some preferred vendor lists. So, rocking an event there's more value in it than just that one event.
Yep. This was probably a lot more than he thought we were going to give, but man, this was a masterclass in how.
I emailed him yesterday. I didn't give him enough notice, but I emailed him yesterday and said, "Joe and I are going to be talking about this. Can I use your name?" And he hasn't gotten back to me, so that's why I've been.
Me too. I saw that email.
But don't call us, please. Can we just leave it on that? I'm always very generous. I think I'm generous with my time. I have no problem hopping on a phone call with people 10, 15 minutes here. I don't charge for that. Right. I'm happy to do it, especially when you are a loyal listener and have bought some of my products. By all means, I will hop on a call. Same. But just don't call the office, please.
Yeah. Man, this was good though.
So who are you going to? I know we have to rush right now. You're going to see a rapper today?
Man, so
who are we going to?
I got in at midnight last night, and my son's birthday was a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, "Man, I really want to see I really want to go see these Swedish rap guys." And I was like, "Okay, where?" And he was like, he starts naming these cities that aren't Raleigh, and I'm like, Philly, Atlanta.
Do you know the name of these Swedish rap guys, or are they just?
There's one kid's name is Blade, the other kid's name is Echo 2K, and then there's this other kid named Thai Boy Digital, but they are collectively known as the Drain Gang. And I'm just like, man. And of course, so here's the real kicker. In my pocket, on my phone as we speak. Guess who's playing here tonight at a 1,000-seater instead of a 25,000-seater? 311.
Oh no! So you're missing 311.
I gave my tickets to Randy.
You are a dad of the year right there.
I said, Randy,
father of the year.
I said, you can have my 311 tickets. Don't send me a video. Just tell me they were.
Who'd you give them to? Who'd you give them to?
Randy.
Oh, nice. Hey, speaking of Randy, I wanted to mention today, this is a weird segue. Today is Dominic Sestito's birthday, and I think of Dominic as Randy is to you as Dominic is to me. Dude, I hired Dominic when he was a teenager. He turns 42 today.
Holy shit.
Man, oh man. We have
awesome.
worked together for a long
Like
time.
25
Isn't that
years, 20
crazy?
20 years.
More than half his life and almost half my life.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
Damn.
So happy. By the time this drops tomorrow, it will have been yesterday. I don't think Dom does. Dom hears enough of my spewing in the office. I don't know that Dom needs to. Yeah, I don't know that he might tune in every once in a while. If he does, happy birthday, Dom.
Yeah,
But if not,
he's awesome.
I'm putting it
Happy
out to
birthday.
the universe. Happy
right.
birthday. Have a great time tonight at your
Drain
Swedish
Gang.
rapper concert. So are you staying in Atlanta or are you driving? How far is Atlanta for you guys?
Oh, we're flying. It's 6 hours.
Oh, look at you flying your kid in for a show.
Jeez. The things we
Can you
do.
adopt me? My dad never flew me to a concert.
I cannot
ever.
adopt you.
I don't think my dad ever took me to a concert, and certainly we didn't fly to a concert.
Speaking of adoption, I saw y'all picked up a new puppy, by the way. This should have been the
we
top
have a
of it.
brand new puppy. He's a 2-year-old.
He looks awesome.
Poor guy is blind, but he gets. I'll tell you what, he gets. Which is why he was a rescue. I mean, he's so cute. If he wasn't blind, he would have been scooped up like
Right.
that. But a lot of people don't want a blind dog. But honestly, Joe, you wouldn't know it. He's already found his way around the house, and I mean, he clunks his head every once in a while.
Sure.
Total cutie, and I'll tell you what, he gives Donovan some shit. He does not take. He's he goes up against him. He stands up on his hind legs, and the two of them, they're currently like jockeying for alpha in the house, and I don't know who's going to win. I really don't. Donovan is a 70-pound dog, but he could wind up being the secondary.
I got to get out there again and see this interaction.
You're always welcome, Joe. The house is always open to you. We've always got the extra bed made.
Yes, sir.
Jersey would love to have you up. Maybe some Swedish rappers will be playing in Asbury Park sometime soon, and you can come up with your son. Have a great day.
You too, man. Thanks, brother.
All right, Jeff.